Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today I am going to be talking all about skin cycling and what my skin cycling routine looks like. So if you're not familiar with skin cycling, I'm gonna break it down a little bit for you and give credit to Miss Whitney Bowie on TikTok is how I found out about skin cycling. So she is a dermatologist and she makes a lot of TikTok videos informing people about skin cycling, and I fell in love with her approach, and I had been struggling so much with my skin, so I decided to try out skin cycling. So let me tell you what skin cycling, her theory of it is, and then we will get into the nitty-gritty, the details, my routine, and I'm also going to be showing you physically my skin, my concerns, and then me actually doing one of the nights of skin cycling. So the basic concept for beginners in the intro to skin cycling is basically giving your skin breaks. So I definitely struggled with this and I will share my story, but the first part of skin cycling is exfoliation night, then it followed by retinol night the next night, then recovery and recovery. Basically what it's meant to do is exfoliate that top layer of skin, and then once your skin is fully exfoliated, the next night you're going to be putting on retinol. So it's gonna obviously penetrate the skin better. And then the following 2 nights, you're going to recover. Let your skin kind of build back up and build its tolerance over time and not do too much. So that's the basic premise behind skin cycling, and I'm gonna go through some more differences later on. But first, I want to talk about my skin type personally. So I have very, very acne prone skin. When I was in high school and college, I suffered from acne and very oily skin. That was my skin type. Now, after having a child, my hormones balanced out a little bit and I had normal to dry-ish skin and I didn't have acne. Now, fast forward to moving from Dallas, a very humid climate, to Illinois, a very dry climate in the middle of summer and then into winter. My skin is so dry, dehydrated, and back to being more acne prone. So I thought my acne had come back for good. When I moved here, I was like, crap, I'm just back to being acne prone again. But I will say that skin cycling has helped control my acne. I was breaking out like crazy, and that was because I was doing too much. And I had heard so many times, I used to work for Sephora in the education, learning about different products and things like that, and I had always heard less is more, especially when it comes to skincare. But sometimes when you're going through skin issues, you forget that mentality of like, no, more is more. I need to exfoliate. I need to do all this stuff to help combat my acne, and it almost makes it worse. So that's when I decided to really take on skin cycling. I would say I've been skin cycling now for the past 2.5-ish months. So when I first started, I followed her beginner program, which is the Exfoliate, Retinol, Recovery. And for that, the first month of that, I did the sandwich method, which means basically they say retinol or even exfoliation works best on dry, cleansed skin. And I would sandwich my products in between the retinol and the exfoliation. And that just helped, again, provide protection to my skin. It still helped make sure that those products were like doing something for my skin, but they weren't doing it where it made my skin irritated and red and all of that. Burning your skin is not better, okay? So the higher the potency, all of that, it's not gonna be better if your skin does not react well to it. So I'm going to be sharing with you my products, my routine, but know that not everyone's skin reacts the same way. Know that these products might not work for you. But this routine might, so I still wanna share it with you. So I followed the sandwich method for the first month, and then the second month, I did not sandwich. So I just put retinol and exfoliation right on my skin. I will sandwich if I'm noticing a little peeling or irritation happening. It can just happen every once in a while, and then I will sandwich, and I will talk about my sandwiching situation in a second. Once you get to, I did about 2 months of the, traditional beginner approach to skin cycling, and then you move on to her what she calls the intermediate level up. So this is when you can drop a recovery night. So For me, the first time I introduced the intermediate skin cycling into my routine, I dropped a recovery night and I added a retinol night. So what that looks like is exfoliation, retinol, retinol, recovery. And then you start from the beginning. Exfoliation, retinol, retinol, recovery. Now, I just felt like I was still dealing with some clogged pores, and I was like, you know what? I feel like my skin looks best when I'm exfoliating more than I'm retinoling. So that's when I decided, I tried that for about 2-3 weeks, and then I decided to move over to exfoliating. So I moved my skin cycling over to exfoliation. I hope this makes sense. I'll put some diagrams and situations on the screen, but basically from there I decided to drop a recovery night but just move up my exfoliation. So didn't add one, but I did exfoliation, retinol, recovery, back to exfoliation. So I dropped a recovery night, didn't add retinol, but went ahead and put an extra exfoliation, or didn't add an extra exfoliation, just made it quicker. And I am noticing less clogged pores in my chin area and my nose. That's kind of what I've been dealing with. So depending on your concerns, I really recommend trying it out. Pay attention to the next morning when you wake up. What is your skin looking like? Is it dull? Is it glowy? Does it feel hydrated? Does it feel what it is? And you'll be able to figure that out within the first 1 to 2 months in the beginning section. And then when you move on to the advanced, you can kind of switch that up depending on what your skin likes. And then once you've kind of mastered that and you feel like, okay, you either really love the exfoliation or you really love the retinol, which most people really like the retinol. So I'm still going to continue kind of switching it up to see what my skin prefers most, but she talks about the advanced method of skincare or skin cycling, which is exfoliation, retinol, 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 recovery. You're always going to have at least one recovery night in there, which is so important to just kind of let your skin reset, not give it too much irritation or anything like that. You always want at least one recovery night, and I'm going to talk you through the products that I do for each of my nights. So you have the beginner, you have the intermediate, and you have the advanced skin cycling. And I think that even if you consider yourself an advanced skincare expert, still start at the beginning. I really do recommend starting at the beginning and figuring out your key products. So let's go ahead and get into my full routine. Before I actually do get into my routine, I want to talk about some of the things I don't do now that I'm skin cycling, which is pretty crazy, okay? I do not do treatment masks. The only masks that I do are hydration. So I was doing exfoliation masks that had acids in it, and then I was exfoliating on top of that. So I was doing too much to my skin. Most brightening, most detox masks, anything like that, look at the ingredients. If they have exfoliation properties, which 90% of the time they do, you do not want to be doing that in combination with all of your routine. There is times and places to do them, but for now, while I'm kind of adjusting to this, I've kind of gotten rid of that step, and honestly, I'm just like, is it really that necessary? I'll try to figure out where I want to add them back in, but at this point, I am not doing any masks besides hydration masks and only do them on my recovery night. The other thing that I used to do all the freaking time was put oil to seal over my entire face at the end of the night. So after every single skincare treatment, I would always put an oil to kind of lock everything in. Now, oils or slugging, Vaseline, whatever you use on nights where you're using actives such as retinol or acids will seal those products in and can actually make them more potent, which if your skin is sensitive, or even if it's not, you can have almost the opposite reaction. You can have a lot of dryness, peeling, and then you can cause more breakouts because your skin barrier is damaged. Think of it as like your immunity, right? Like if you're like been run down and you're tired and you're stressed like in your body, then you're more likely to get sick. Same thing with your skin. If your skin is run down, stressed, under a lot of pressure, it will break out. That's kind of some of the side effects that can happen. So I do not slug or put oil over the top of my exfoliation or my retinol nights. So those are the two things that I've stopped doing, that I've surprised myself but I'm actually really happy with the results. So let's get into my actual steps. I also do want to completely preface this by saying my camera has this like face filtering, blurring situation on it when I'm sitting like this, but you will see in my bathroom, I will make sure that I get a clip of my actual true skin. I think that's so important. And with anything in life, that a lot of people's skin looks better on camera with beautiful lights, with beauty filters, with all the things. I think it's important to realize that skin is still skin, and sometimes we can look at our skin and be so hard on ourselves because we feel like we don't have perfect skin. It's okay. Acne is okay, wrinkles are okay, texture is okay. It's all normal. No one's skin is porcelain. Even if you think it is, it's not. There are things that we can do to make our own skin, the skin that we have, better and the best, but we can never achieve porcelain smooth skin. And that's just kind of how it is. And some people require more skincare and more ingredients than others, and that's just kind of how life is. So keep that in mind, and I will do my best to be raw and real about my skincare. About my skin concerns. I've already explained to you I'm pretty acne prone. So with the wrong things, I can break out like crazy. I have some melasma in my forehead region right here that I struggle with, and some sunspots here. I definitely have hyperpigmentation from when my skin was very bad, right in this area right here. That's where I struggle the most from breakouts, is in this area right here, and then that melasma that I have here. I have slight melasma here, and on my upper lip as well. So those are some of the things, and my melasma is heat related, so I'm only showing you my nighttime routine, but make sure you're wearing an SPF. I cannot say it enough during the day, make sure you're wearing an SPF. But I did want to share and be totally transparent about my skin concerns and what my skin looks like. No one's skin is perfect. And yeah, so let's jump into the routine. So no matter what night it is, I always start out the same way. Because I'm always wearing SPF and or makeup, I don't wear makeup every single day, but I'm always wearing an SPF at least every single day. I will always start with an oil cleanser. I do a double cleanse. This is my favorite oil cleanser that I've ever found. It is the DHC Deep Cleansing Oil. I like it. It doesn't break me out. Don't be afraid of oils. I feel like oils really get into the pores and remove that makeup, that SPF that's meant to like cling onto the skin. So I do believe that an oil cleanser is necessary. You can use a balm if you prefer. Do not be using makeup wipes. Use a cleanser. If you don't like cleansing oils, I think you can use your own cleanser twice, but I do recommend something like this, and take time to work it in. Like, I mean, at least 60 seconds to work in this face oil, okay? You need the time to really get in and break it up. Also, focus on those areas where you tend to get the most congestion. So for me, it's chin. I get a lot of blackheads here, and then in this area. So I really focus. My forehead most of the time is pretty clear. I still obviously clean it, but I'm really focusing on working that oil in those areas that you might skip over. So focus on really massaging that oil in to break down the makeup, and then mixing a little bit of water in and emulsifying the oil. And this is my first step. The other thing that I think makes a huge difference is making sure this step removed all your makeup. I know I've been guilty of wiping my towel on my face and then realizing I still have makeup on, specifically in this hairline, and that is why I break out here as well. So make sure that makeup and sunscreen and just dirt is not the reason you're breaking out. So by doing that, I do recommend taking some sort of washcloth. You don't want to exfoliate with the washcloth. You just want to make sure that you're rubbing it and removing all of the makeup so that your skin is truly clean, okay? That should clean the skin. First step. So make sure you're taking a wet, you can use a microfiber towel so it's a little more gentle, whatever it is, just make sure that your face is completely cleansed. And then or makeup free. Then I go in with my cleanser. This cleanser, really depending on what you want. I have, like I said, acne prone skin, so I had been using this one and I really like it. It's the CeraVe Renewing Salicylic Acid Cleanser for normal skin. I like this one because it doesn't like dry out my skin, because it does have ceramides in it, so it's good for the skin barrier as well, but it's giving me a little bit of that acne fighting ingredient. So basically salicylic acid kind of clears out the pores, and I like this one. It's good. So that is what I do after I have done my oil cleanser. Again, make sure you're working this in for at least 60 seconds. If you're struggling with spending enough time washing your face, that is going to lead to blackheads, all that sort of stuff. So make sure you are washing your face for an appropriate amount of time. And then again, make sure you're removing the whole cleanser, okay? So sometimes if you leave cleanser on your face, it can irritate your skin, all that kind of stuff. Or if you're not getting everything off, your skin should be completely clean after you've done the 2 steps. But this, for at least 60 seconds, one of your favorite cleansers. I'm currently also trying out this guy while I'm headed into breaking out less, but also getting a little bit more dry because of the winter. So I've been trying this guy. I'm still on the fence if I love it or not. It's the Ordinary Squalane cleanser, but this is something I will do if I feel like my skin's just a little tight and a little dry. I will use this instead of the salicylic acid if I'm not breaking out. So that is my cleanse step. So after I cleanse, I always do the next 2 steps no matter what night it is as well. So I go in with the Yul. I think I'm saying that right. This is like a watery essence-y gel. It's a little bit thicker than a toner, but it's it's thicker than a toner, but, and an essence, I don't know. I love this stuff though. It's hydrating. I feel like essences basically help deliver the next ingredients that you put on your skin a little bit deeper into the surface. Is it 100% necessary? No, but I love it. It provides extra hydration, plumpness, and a glow to my skin. So I've been using this now for ever since I started skin cycling, and I'm a big fan of it. You can get it on Amazon, but love it. It's the Essence Toner by Yul. I think I'm saying that right. And then I go in with this guy. This is the sandwich method approach also, so I should let you know that. So I go in with the essence, and then I go in with this Snail Mucin, which is also an essence, but it's more of like a serum-y essence, okay? This is by CosRx. This is the Advanced Snail Mucin. This is like a thicker jelly, and it's so hydrating and plumping to the skin. It also is so immediately glowy to your skin. It feels amazing on my skin. It alleviates any tightness, any dryness that I might be having. I love this. I use this morning and night, but this is the first step that I do after I put the essence on my skin. While it's still a little damp, I go ahead and put this guy in. It's amazing. I use about 2 pumps, and I love this stuff. I get this on Amazon. It's really amazing. So that is going to be the beginning steps of my routine no matter what night it is. So that's not going to change. Now let's go into the first night, which is exfoliation. So I'm going to talk about my 3 favorite exfoliators, and they're for different reasons. And I think it's important once you are like, you don't need all of these steps and you don't need all these different products, but if you're a skincare junkie like I am, if you can't tell I am, then you can play around with different brands and whatnot, but you only need one exfoliator. So this exfoliator that I really love is the Paula's Choice. I have quite a qualm with this though, because on the back it says to do it once or twice daily. That is why people are ruining their skins. Don't do that. Don't do it. Use it once every 3 or 4 days, whatever it is. But like this one's easy to apply. You just throw it on the skin, and I don't put it on a cotton pad. I just rub it on with my hands. I can instantly feel this one working, like instantly. My skin just feels dramatically smoother as soon as I put this on. It's beautiful. I understand why people want to use it during the day, because it leaves your skin just so smooth. Like any texture feels like it's gone. If my skin needs to be exfoliated but is dry, that's when I go in with this guy. I've been using Good Genes. This is a lactic acid exfoliator from Sunday Riley. I've been using this since I lived in Japan many years ago. I've always suffered with under the skin kind of texture, clogged pores from underneath my skin when I was oily. And I can still suffer from them even though I'm dry now. This is good because it has, like, lactic acid can kind of bring moisture into the skin and hydrate the skin and not be as harsh. So I love this one if my skin needs exfoliation but is really dry and irritated. This is the one I will go with, and it's got a creamy consistency that almost feels hydrating to the skin. Again, I only do that at night. If I need like a powerhouse, like I need my skin to be like it's looking very dull and I'm dealing with a lot of congestion under the skin, that's when I go in with the Saturday Skin glycolic acid. So you'll see there's different acids in all of this. This has like a mix of different acids. This one is glycolic acid. So this one is more intense, and a strong percentage of glycolic acid can actually help with firming the skin as well. I'm only at 4%, but they go all the way up to 8% in this one. So I believe this is the lowest one. This one, like when I first started using it, burned my skin, so I definitely couldn't use it every single time I exfoliated, which is why I still were using the other 2 products. But this stuff is like, if my skin needs an overhaul, this is what I go with. I love this stuff. It's powerful, but really good. So those are the 3 exfoliators that I will use interchangeably, and that's just because I love playing around with exfoliators, and I think that you need to try one for a while, and if you feel like it's not giving you the results you need, try a different one, but you want to kind of stick with it for a while to figure it out, and those are tried and true that I've used for a while now. So that's my exfoliation step, and then I always still end my exfoliation step with moisturizer, obviously. So the one that I'm using currently right now is during the winter. This is my I always use this every winter, is the Dr. Jart Ceramiding Cream. So I use this, and I also use my eye cream. So that's my exfoliation night completed. Same beginning steps, middle step is what changes, and the end steps are the same. So same thing with retinol night. So again, cleanse, double cleanse, oil, and my CeraVe. Again, when I'm sandwiching, I go with the King Ping Yule Essence. If I'm not, I always still go with this. If I'm not sandwiching, I still go with this, do my retinol, and then I follow with this. But again, I'm sandwiching, so King Ping Yule, Snail Essence, or Snail Mucin, and then this is my favorite retinol that I've tried. I've tried about 4 or 5 of them. This is the one that I still love the most. It's the Sunday Riley, again, vitamin or A+ high dose retinol serum. You can get retinols, retinoids, all that stuff. You can go up to tretinoin, all those things from dermatologists, but I have been using this over the counter and I love it. So it has honey in it as well, which I feel like is kind of soothing to the skin. I believe it's Manuka honey, which again is antimicrobial, so helps with like any sort of breakouts that you could be getting from bacteria. So love this stuff. It is potent. It did make me peel when I first started using it, so build your way up and definitely sandwich if you're curious to try this one out. I do like the Drunk Elephant one, but I prefer this one over the Drunk Elephant one in my opinion. I think it's a little bit better. You want a retinol that is in yellow form. That's going to mean that it has a very high potency of retinol in it. This one is awesome. So that is my retinol night. And then again, follow up with hydration. So my ceramiding cream and my eye cream, and that is retinol. Now let's move into the recovery night. So you guessed it, the same. Oil cleanse, face wash. We're gonna clean our skin, like always. Now before I go in with my normal essence and my Snail Mucin, I will then go in with a hydration mask of some sort. I really have been loving this one. This is the Origins Drink Up Intensive Hydrating Mask. Technically this is an overnight mask. I just leave it on for a while and then I towel wipe it off, but I love this one. Hydration mask is what I'm always using on recovery night, just to amp up my hydration levels. You can technically use this any night, but I only use it for recovery at least once to twice a week, depending on what the rundown is. But I love this guy and I use that on my recovery night. And then again, once I'm done with the mask, King Ping Yule Essence, Snail Mucin, moisturizer, eye cream, and then I go in with my oil. So again, this is just gonna lock in all of those products. Since I don't have any actives on, I go in with an oil. I like this one from Drunk Elephant, it's good. And then I do my version of slugging. I don't put Vaseline on my face will lose its mind and hate me. But I love this one. If you're scared to try Vaseline or you've had a bad reaction to it, try this guy. This is the Cicapair Tiger Grass Sleep Air Intensive Mask. This is basically like the same effect of Vaseline. It's not as thick. It still lets your skin not breathe because your skin doesn't breathe, but you know what I mean? It's thick, it goes on after everything, and when I wash it off in the morning, I feel it still on my skin, even if I can't see it. I love this stuff. Cicapair is also meant to kind of help with sensitive skin. Their whole line is really good towards sensitive skin. So I love this and I only use it on my recovery night. So that is it. That is my full routine. That is how I do my exfoliation night, my retinol night, and my recovery night. And I've just kind of been switching up the order and figuring out what works best for me. I'm gonna go ahead and show you a demo of my retinol night just so you can kind of see what that looks like.
All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get into this. So I go ahead and put my headband on. Yes, the obnoxious one that everybody has. I was gifted it and I love it. And then I put my hair up in a clip because I will not wash my face when my hair is down. I go ahead and remove all my jewelry, and also I change into a robe because I will make a mess if I don't. Then I go in with my cleansing oil. I massage this on dry skin, about 2 pumps. Obviously I have makeup on, so I'm breaking down the makeup. That's what this does. So I do this dry for about a minute, and then I go ahead and emulsify it and do my eye lashes as well. So you will see that here. I didn't show the big emulsifying process, but I did that for another minute again. And then I go ahead and use a microfiber towel to wipe down my face after I rinse it in the sink. Then I go in with my cleanser on dry skin is what I've been trying, but I do emulsify it later. But I go ahead and rub it on for about 30 seconds to a minute on dry skin. And then I go ahead and add a little bit of water to froth it up, and then do another 30 seconds to minutes, rinse it down, and then wipe it clean with a damp rag just to make sure everything is gone. Then I'm going in with a mask since it is recovery night. I love this one. It's just super hydrating. So I put a nice thick layer of that all over my skin after it's cleansed. And then I put on this little silicone sheet mask. I love this thing. It makes you look crazy, but it's amazing. It just seals in whatever mask you have and turns it into a sheet mask. Then I go ahead and remove it once it's done, rinse it off, and again, pat dry with a damp microfiber towel. Then it's time to go in with my essence. I go ahead and put that on. My skin's still slightly damp, but not wet. Go ahead and pat that in, rub it in. I know I'm kind of rough with my face, but it looks rougher than it is, I swear. Rub it down your neck. All the good stuff. Then I go in with my snail mucin essence. This is basically just a really hydrating toner, and it really helps fade my acne marks. So I go ahead and rub that in, pat that in, all the things. I do bring this up under my eyes. I don't have any concerns with milia. And then after that, I go in with my eye cream. Not necessary, but I like the way it feels. Then my face cream, nice thick layer of this. So freaking hydrating on the face as well as down the neck. After that, my face oil. Remember, this is recovery night. We're recovering. Face oil, I just go ahead and pat that in. And then I do use this sleeping mask from Dr. Jart. It's one of my favorite game-changing products. So go ahead and put that everywhere. I'm just kind of smear that on as a top layer. It really soaks into the skin. I know it looks like a lot, but it soaks into the skin. And then I do have some active acne, so I'm going in and just spot correcting that with a little bit of benzoyl peroxide. And that's it, you guys. That is the routine.
If you guys enjoyed this, I know it was super long, it's super informative, a lot of information. Highly recommend trying or checking out Dr. Whitney Bowie, I think that's her name, on TikTok. She has a lot of really informative information, and I feel like she's not just pushing products, and I hope you understand that I'm not either. I'm just sharing with you what my routine is. If you're looking to take on some new products, then maybe this will give you some ideas, but you can use what you currently have to follow this skin cycling routine, which I love the idea behind that. So I hope you guys enjoyed, found this video helpful, a little more deep dive into skin cycling, because I know TikTok is really short and people aren't really talking through what they're actually using for the skin cycling, so I wanted to share with you what I'm using. So I hope you guys enjoyed, found this video helpful. If you did, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up. If you're curious to see what my morning skincare routine looks like, it's not skin cycling, but if you're so curious, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and letting me know in the comments down below. If you have a favorite retinol product that you think I need to try, I want to know in the comments. I love you guys so much. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video.